Technology, yay! Sorry, I was over trying to, uh, like, take care of another problem, and I was like, "Oh, I think it's 11 o'clock." Hey, welcome everybody. I'm so glad you're here and joining me today for a brand new YouTube Live. I've got a fantastic project lined up for you. We're gonna do this really fun double flap fold. Guess what else? We're gonna do it with just one sheet of 8.5 by 11. Love that, right? I love one sheet wonders. I hope you do too. So, we've been doing these lives for a little while, and I know I've got two different kinds of viewers. I've got some of you that love to come join me live. We chit chat for a little bit, and you really, really enjoy that. I love being with my Stampin' Peeps. It's so much fun. But then there's another group of people that say, Connie, I just want to see you stamp. You know what? I get that too. So I'll tell you what, if you are watching the replay and you want to watch me stamp and you want to get past all this, not a problem. Just scroll forward a little bit on YouTube until you see my hands. When you see my hands, you know we're ready to stamp. So feel free, if you're watching the replay, to do that. So here I am now with my Stampin' Peeps. And you know what? I do want to make sure my volume is working. Again, I'm trying new things. So give me just 1 second here. I'm just going to get back over to my comments. Yep, it looks like everyone's able to hear. It seems like every single week when I come on live, I'm trying something different, something new, trying to make these lives the absolute best that I can for you guys. But that technology comes with challenges for me. It's not my favorite thing in the world. But anyway, it looks like everything is good to go. So while Mr. Awesome was upstairs here helping me tackle some of these new technology operations that we have going here, Tugger the Wonder Dog was awfully quiet. It's kind of like a toddler. When a toddler has been a little too quiet for too long, you should worry. I should have worried because I went downstairs to find him. First, I called him. He was not coming. That's not a good sign. I couldn't get him to come. He has two places he loves to go: underneath my couch and underneath my love seat. If he's underneath the couch, he's sleeping. If he's underneath the love seat, he's being naughty. I mean, that's pretty nice, right? That if your puppy is under the love seat, you better go see what he's got. Yesterday, actually in the afternoon, I realized he wasn't upstairs with me. Guys, he had gotten into my shower. I have a walk-in shower. He got into my shower and had my razor. Oh, I my heart just I was like, "Oh my goodness." Luckily, he was just chewing on the handle and not the blade, but I mean, panic. So you can bet that has been moved up to a higher shelf. Never thought the dog would go into my shower. But when we were upstairs, we were working, and I said it got a little quiet downstairs. I went and looked in his naughty spot. I'm going to show you what he had. My reading glasses. Yeah. You want to know something? They're not reading glasses anymore. Puppies. Gotta love them. Yeah, those are pretty much worthless now. I guess I'll let them be a chew toy for him. Oh, well, yeah, that's life with a puppy. So anyway, that's my life. That's what we deal with now, is where is the puppy and is he being naughty? Yep. But you know what? I love him. I'm gonna kill him, but I love him. All right, my friends. I hope you guys are doing well. I do want to give just a quick shout out to everybody. I was reading your comments before I got on. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate that. I'm old, and that's okay with me. We're going to celebrate. We're going to have my girls come over and their significant others, and a couple other friends are going to be joining us. So, yeah, we're just going to have a fun dinner here at the house. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's funny because my husband says, we could take you out somewhere nice. And I'm like, no, I'd rather have just a nice dinner here at the house so I can relax and visit and not have that stress of trying to get out of a restaurant because there's a line of people waiting, things like that. So, all right, I think we're going to get to stamping because I'm very excited about the cards. Brenda did share the download with you. There's a free download I got a surprise for you. There's diagrams. Yay! Yeah, there's diagrams in the tutorial this time. And I apologize if you tried to get them earlier and they weren't available. Try it again. It's just that the post hadn't gone up yet, and so that's what made it hidden. But it's there now for you if you want to get the diagram, and that way you can kind of if you're going to create along with me, you'll be able to do that. Now, speaking of creating along with me, here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You're going to need your paper trimmer. We're also going to use a piece of designer series paper that is 4 by 10 and 3/4. And I'm going to show you with diagrams and here on the video how we're going to cut that. This is one, guys, I always recommend if you're ever unsure about things like this, use a piece of copy paper, use a piece of junk mail. Well, junk mail might be hard because it's already folded, but just maybe a color cardstock that's not one of your favorites is a great time to practice these unique and fun folds because that way, if you make a mistake, oh well, right? Okay, let's go over to my stamping table and we're going to get to creating our double unfold. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, this is the download I was telling you about. So, you're going to have your supplies here. There's what you're going to need to create pictures. Of course, you're going to want that. Now, if you save this to your computer, you'll be able to click right here and come back to the video anytime you want. So, if you need to see something again, scroll past all my chit chatty stuff. And then here you can order any of the supplies you need. And guys, some of the products I'm using are going to be retiring at the very first part of May. So I want you to get it before it's gone. So here's my fantastic diagrams because I know how much you guys love diagrams. I do too. They're fantastic. So this is the diagram for our cardstock, and here's the diagram for our designer series paper. This is what's going to make creating this card so easy. So are you ready to start? Here we go. Well, first, I guess I need to share with you the two cards that we're going to create. Only one card today, but I've got two to share with you. So my first one, this is the one we'll create on our video today. It's a really fun happy birthday card. And when I say double flap, it's kind of a double flap fold. So happy birthday. Hope your day is sweet as a peach. I got to tell you, the sweet as a peach bundle is like one of my all-time favorites. And I love this designer series paper. It's also going to be retiring, so you're going to want to get this one. But that is all done with just one sheet. I get so creative with my cutting because I love to create with one sheet of cardstock. And then I have an Easter card here. This is done with a hand-penned designer series paper. And on this one, I did a little stamping on the inside instead. I needed an Easter card. Easter is right around the corner, and I wanted to create an Easter card. So my sentiment actually came from Daffodil Daydream. So because it just had a really great Easter blessing sentiment. And then on the background on this one, I want you to just pay attention. I did embossing instead of stamping. So you see here on the one we're going to make today, we're going to stamp. But here I used the Meadow Moments embossing folder. So lots of options with these cards. But let's go ahead and get started because that's all we need. Don't you love a quick and easy supply list? I know I do. Now, my designer series paper, I should say, only needs to be 10 and 3/4. I actually just cut a 4 by 12. So 4 by 12 is fine too. You'll have a little bit left over. But what's great with this is 4 inches. You can get 3 of these out of one sheet of 12 by 12. So keep that in mind. We'll cut that one here in a minute. I'm going to start with some basic white thick cardstock for my card base. Again, 8.5 by 11. All right. Let me bring in my paper trimmer, and I'm also going to bring in my diagram. So I have a diagram to help you with everything, but I've also got your cutting instructions here. So the first thing we want to do, and I hope you guys are creating right along with me, we're going to cut this in half to 4.25 by 11. So that means we want the 8.5 up here at the top so we can cut it in half at 4.25. Okay, now I'm going to show you. It says to score one of the 4.25 by 11 at 2 3/4 and 5.5. Now, this is where I always tell you, make sure that cutting blade is out of your way. We don't want to cut, and it happens. So we're going to score at 2 3/4, slide it down. We'll score again at 5.5. That is going to create the first part of the base. Okay, let me set that off to the side. Now we've got another piece of 4 1/4 by 11. And we're going to cut it down to 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. So let's cut it down. I'm going to swing my little arm out here. We'll cut it down to 8 1/2 and save this piece. We're going to use it here in a minute. But we're going to cut the 3. Oh, why do I have 3 1/4? Oh, that is a typo and I fixed it. I apologize. I did change this. That should have been 4 1/4, but on your uh, diagram, it's going to be correct. So we're going to take this 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 and we're going to score it. Oh no, we're going to cut it. Forgive me, forgive me. We're going to cut it at 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. And guys, we're going to use this piece here for our sentiment. So I'm just going to go ahead and set that one off to the side because we're not going to do any more cutting on it until later. So I have a 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. Let's score it at 4 1/4. So we're just going to score it in half. And real quick, I'm just going to kind of bring this in so you can see how that is going to go together. Now this piece that we had left over, it's a 2 1/2 by 4 1/4. We want to take that down to 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. And this is truly just a little piece of scrap. All right. That really wasn't too bad. Remember, you've got a diagram and follow the diagram and not Connie's crazy words that aren't making sense. Okay. Now, so that's all the cutting for your card base. Now let's work on the designer series paper. And this one's super easy. We're going to cut 4 by 5 1/4. That's easy enough. 5 1/4. There's one piece. Our next one is a 4 by 3. Slide that down to 3. Cut again. And our last one is a 4 by 2 1/2. And if you cut your designer series paper correctly, you that was automatically 2 1/2. And but like I said, I had cut mine at 12 inches. So yep, you will have a little bit left over if that's what you do. That is your cutting for right now. We do have one more little bit of cutting, but we'll do that here in a second. Okay, you ready to put a card together? Okay, we're actually going to do our stamping first. So we're going to take that little 2 1/2 by, wait, 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. I got to look at my measurements. Yes, 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. I'm going to grab my grid paper here because I don't want to stamp off on my table. So finding all my goodies here on my table that's everywhere. So we're going to be using the Sweet as a Peach stamp set. Now this one also comes with dies. You can order the dies separately if you want. We're just going to use the stamp set today. And like I said, that one's going to retire. So we don't want to get it to let it get away from you. I mean, get it now before it's gone. Pear Pizzazz, fabulous shade of green. And it goes really well with my designer series paper. We're going to take this kind of leafy image, and this is the one that's going to let us do a kind of a two-step stamping. So we're going to stamp off the top right of the cardstock. Okay, so I just want the stem to kind of come off the cardstock. Don't put that away just yet. We're going to use it again. Now I'm going to bring in Calypso Coral for my peaches. And when you stamp the peaches, there's a little, kind of like a little notch in the peach that these stems are going to touch. So that's what makes this one really nice and easy to stamp. One, because it's photopolymer, and two, I can see those stems to make sure, look, perfect. You love it, right? Okay. Again, don't put this away. We're going to stamp some more leaves. I wanted to go ahead and get my peaches on there first because I didn't want to accidentally stamp where I didn't want to. Now for this one, don't freak out. But you notice my stem is just hanging there, just hanging, just hanging around. Don't worry, we're going to be covering that up. But I'm going to add a couple more peaches. Let's see what else will. Looks like I'm only going to get 2, but that's fine. We just want to kind of fill in. See how nice and kind of filled in that is? Okay. So we've got that done. Now we're going to take the inside of our card. Now, here's what's kind of funny, and I want you guys to pay attention. This is actually going to open from left to right. Normally, you know, a card would open this way. You're going to be doing it the opposite way. So I want you to be aware of that so that you stamp correctly inside your card. So for the inside, we are going to bring back in the Calypso Coral, and I'm going to say sweet as a peach. And I'm going to actually stamp this part of my sentiment first. Stamp that right there. And now I'm going to come in with the Balmy Blue ink pad. Somebody asked why Connie doesn't use a Stampin' Mat underneath me. The Stampin' Mat is great, but can I tell you something? My grid paper also acts as a cushion. And so I just use it a lot. It just works really well for me. And I do love the Stampin' Pierce mat for using my photopolymer stamps, but it's just kind of sometimes when I'm using grid paper, it works okay. And anyway, we're going to stamp Hope Your Day is as I had to think sweet as a peach. And I'm stamping that in Balmy Blue. We'll stamp that right over it. Hope your day is as sweet as a peach. Well, you know what? While I have this Balmy Blue out, we're going to go ahead and finish up our stamping. Remember that strip, that little 1-inch strip? And that's what we're going to use for our sentiment. But I want to get a banner punch in the end of this before I do. Now, if you don't have the banners pick a punch, not a problem. In fact, let me show you. Let me grab my scissors over here. You can just snip a straight line right up the middle and then come at both sides. So that is one way you can make a banner. All right, very easy. I love the banners pick a punch because I like it to be perfect. So this is a 1-inch strip. That's great because I have a 1-inch area right in here. You can do different sizes, but this 1-inch fit perfectly. I'm going to slide that in. I like to go ahead and turn this punch over just to make sure everything is sitting in there straight, and then give that a punch. And see, now I have a perfect banner. I mean, like I said, you can still cut it by hand, but I'm just a huge fan of having that punch on there. Okay, so to stamp our sentiment, we actually want the banner to be on the left side. So let's make sure that's on the left side. And I'm going to stamp happy birthday. And I'm going to try to do this where I can see over my camera. All right, happy birthday. Perfect. Okay, guys, I believe our stamping is all done. So I'm going to go ahead and close up my ink pads, and I encourage you to do the same. This keeps your card from accidentally landing in an ink pad, your hand landing in an ink pad, everything landing in an ink pad, right? This is where I said we're going to bring that paper trimmer in one more time. There's no right or wrong to where you cut this. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. There's my birthday banner. Okay, so don't let that one stress you. That's a cut wherever you need to. And you know what else I love? If you messed up, you stamped crooked, you have more cardstock. You could do it again if you wanted to. Okay, I love it when a card comes together this fast. So it's time to put everything together. I am going to fold my cardstock kind of like in the little accordion fold. You do want to use your bone folder on this because you really want those score lines to be hard and creased, okay? And we're going to take our designer series paper and we'll go ahead and I'm going to have you guys start to add this to your card. So about an inch or so of adhesive there in every corner. Our first piece will go right here. I hope that you guys are stamping and creating along with me. It's one of my favorite parts of what we do here. And now I'm going to take this piece. You know, you have two. It's going to be pretty obvious which is which. This is the smaller one. We're going to put that one here. And again, just about an inch of adhesive in each corner. Let's see what you are saying. Brenda says, Loretta, I love that we have options, right? I'm not sure if you're talking about the Stampin' Pierce mat, but I love that I have options. All right, so can you see? It's already looking really pretty. I love that. Now we could write a message here, but you know what? We created this really awesome piece, so we're going to add it. We want to make sure we're putting the adhesive on the side that we stamped on, okay? Because remember, it's opening this way. So make sure you don't go and put adhesive on the wrong piece. Again, 1 inch in each corner, and we will add that right here. Center that up. All right. We had another piece of designer series paper, and you can this, sometimes designer series paper, the opposite side is a great compliment. Other times it's a totally different piece that kind of stands alone. This one, it worked really well. So I decided I was going to use this pretty balmy blue side. And so take a little break from the peaches there and give ourselves a little bit of balmy blue. Oh, how much I love this paper. Okay, now for our peaches that we did. Remember, we have this all stamped. I'm going to have you put Stampin' Dimensionals on this. Now, you guys know it's an option. I love Stampin' Dimensionals. Well, first of all, this is already a wow card. When people get it, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. How did you do it? And you're going to go, oh, it's just about impossible, but I did it for you. So we're going to add this piece right here with dimensionals. And again, like I said, you could leave that off if you wanted to. Now I am going to put my card together very simply, just fold in and over. And then I'm ready to add that sentiment. And you're going to add that wherever you want. Okay. Whatever you want to do. I think I'm going to kind of come up and off just a little bit. Make sure you're not going past the side of your cardstock because we want it to fit into an envelope. So this is where it gets really important. That means I cannot put adhesive right here or we'll seal the card shut and it's just not as exciting if it's sealed shut. So let's just put some adhesive just here on this end, okay? And like I said, I think I'm going to come up and over with mine. But again, I don't want to go past the edge. There we go. Oh my goodness. Isn't it? It was so easy, right? I'm telling you, these diagrams, I kind of love to make diagrams about as much as I love to stamp. I do. I just think these are so fun. But I know that they are also very, very helpful to you. So you guys be sure to head over to simplysimplestamping.com and get your free download. You're going to want that. And now I want to share, I'm going to go ahead and bring in this card just one more time, because I wanted you to see something on this. I did not use dimensionals when it came to this piece, but I used dimensionals on my flag, on my little banner instead. So feel free to mix that up. There's no right or wrong in stamping. Added a little baker's twine there from the Flowers for Every Season. And then I did some stamping. This was from hand-penned petals. So I did a little stamping on that side. Remember, on this one, we didn't have anything, although I could have added some more peaches if I wanted to. But yeah, I think I kind of want a little more crisp and clean on this one. So there we go. And there is our hand pen petals, that gorgeous paper. I thought it lent itself perfectly to being an Easter card. I didn't have to add bunnies and jelly beans and things like that. Spring also means flowers. So there we go. Hey, how about we talk about what we're going to create on next week's YouTube Live? I have got some fun cards, you guys. These are called overlay cards. And guess what? Also a one sheet wonder. Yeah, we're going to take a basic 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock and we're going to chop it up so that we can create this fun card. Isn't that neat? It was just a fun way to take all these like little leftover pieces and create something different. So this one using Hydrangea Haven, also on the retirement. No, not on the retirement list. I take that back, you guys. It's staying. The world is better because of you, and you make me smile. So that's a really pretty card. And this one was with the Hey Birthday Chick. So fun. You're still a spring chicken, and happy birthday. And look at that little guy. He's so cute. So yeah, we're going to create a couple really fun cards. That'll be on March 31st, same time. So that was 11 a.m. Central Time. I'd love to have you guys join us for these cards. Again, there'll be a free download for you as well, so you're not going to want to miss that. How about some show and tell? It's mail call time. I got a couple cards I wanted to share with you. I got these in the mail. I got this gorgeous card from Kathy from Texas. I love this. She used the Flowering Rain Boot stamp set. I've got a card coming up pretty soon with that one as well. It's a fantastic card. I love she used my favorite color. She used those tulips on there, some of the brass butterflies, and it was just a gorgeous card on Misty Moonlight. I wanted to showcase that one. I thought it was so pretty. I got another card here from Debbie from Wisconsin. And what I loved about her card is this is actually some paper. I'm not sure if it's from Stampin' Up, it's some designer series paper, but she embossed it. So great idea to emboss cards or designer series paper to give it kind of a look. And I know you probably can't see it on camera, but it's really got the look of linen. Really, really pretty. So she sent me that card and it says congrats. She was congratulating me on a sales milestone I made. She also said, see you in the spring for the online stamp retreat. She's going to be at our upcoming stamp retreat. That is going to, a registration that starts April 1st, you guys. So I know Debbie is excited about that. Oh, one more thing about this that I have to tell you. She enclosed a little note and she said she was doing a make and mail 40 cards for Lent challenge. How fun. So she was challenging herself to mail 40 cards during Lent, and I was lucky enough to be a recipient of one of those. Fun idea. Very fun idea. All right, guys, we are going to move back over so I can say goodbye and thank everyone for being here. If you loved the card, you love the diagram, would you give me a thumbs up on YouTube? I always love a thumbs up on YouTube. You guys are always the best with that. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the great big red subscribe button so that YouTube can let you know when I'm back with a new video or back with a new live, because I'd love to have you here joining us. So, guys, make it a fantastic day. Enjoy. I hope you have some spring and some sunshine coming your way. Have a fabulous weekend as well. I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.